Hello students. In this video we are going to see the first law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics is simply the law of conservation of energy. So it is a law of conservation of energy. When I say it is the law of conservation of energy means the energy of the total system and the surrounding will remain constant. So according to this law, the total energy of the system and surrounding remains constant when the system changes from initial to final state. But there are various ways the law can be put up, but the meaning is same for all these statements. So let us see all these statements, what indirectly or directly says that the energy is getting conserved. So let us see the first way to express the first law of thermodynamics, and that is the energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to another. This is the first way to give the first law of thermodynamics. Let us see the second way to give this. According to the second way, what we have, energy of the universe remains constant. You know student, this universe is also like an isolated system. So what should be the third way to give this? That the total internal energy of an isolated system is constant. What can be the next way to give this? That when the total energy in one form, if it disappears, then the same amount of energy in some other form makes its appearance. So that is the next way to express that. So let us write down, when a quantity of energy of one form disappears, then exactly equivalent amount of energy in some other form appears. Meaning is same, energy remains constant. Now the total amount of energy of the system and its surrounding must remain constant whatever the changes may take place. So let us write that also. The total amount of energy of system and surrounding remains constant whatever the changes takes place. So those are the different ways to give the first law of thermodynamics, but as I said, the meaning of all the statement is same, that the energy is conserved. Now let us see the equation or the mathematical equation which is used for first law of thermodynamics. Now to understand that better, the best example here, if I say that a certain amount of money is given to you, then how you will utilize that, or how your parents utilize this money is they will never spend that totally for your education. They will never spend that totally for a hotel or some entertainment, but how they manage some amount of this is utilized for say groceries, few amount of it is used for medicine, few amount of it is used for your studies. So this is how the distribution of the total amount takes place. Similarly, the energy if I supply to system, then system also uses the energy in a similar way. By taking this concept into consideration, let us understand what is the expression for first law of thermodynamics. So let us see the mathematical expression. Equation you can call it, students, or you can call it as expression for first law of thermodynamics. For that, let us say that this is a system, what I have considered. Now, when I say this is a system, a fixed amount of energy will be associated with it. And this fixed amount of energy associated with the system, you call this as internal energy. So, the internal energy of the system in the initial state will be U1. So, let us say that the internal energy in the initial state, so initial state, internal energy, if I say it is U1, this is the first statement that if the total energy which is associated with the system is U1, then if Q amount of energy or heat, if Q amount of heat or energy is supplied to the system, then if I am supplying Q amount of heat to the system, then what the system will do, as I said, it will not be completely used for one purpose, but it will be utilized in many ways. So what are the many ways I am talking about? So this Q amount of energy which is supplied, so the part of it is used to increase the internal energy, and the remaining part is utilized to carry out PV type of work or mechanical work. What is the meaning of mechanical, student? Is pressure volume type of work. So how the system is utilizing this Q amount of heat which is supplied to the system, it is utilizing this in two ways. A part of it will be utilized to increase the internal energy, and the remaining part it will utilize to carry out PV type of work. So now what will be the final internal energy? So when this Q is added to the system, the internal energy will change from U1 to U2. So what is U2 now? If U2 is the final internal energy, here by final I mean the increased internal energy, then the increased internal energy is equal to the initial internal energy what the system has plus Q amount of heat what we have supplied plus PV type of work. So I will mark this as work, or you can take it as PV. So what is U2 is equal to U1 plus Q plus W. Now those are the like terms. Can I take this U1 to this side? So what I get is U2 minus U1 is equal to Q plus W. What is U2 minus U1 is the change in the internal energy. So delta U is equal to Q plus W. So this is the expression for first law of thermodynamics. Students, you know that internal energy is a state function or a path function here that we have to take into consideration. You know that internal energy is a state function. So I will use a delta here, but I will not use delta for this Q and W because both are path functions. Then how to change those equations according to the type of processes? So let us take a glance on that. So what we have, the equation according to the first law of thermodynamics is delta U is equal to Q plus W. You can use capital Q there for heat. Now as I said, this is a state function and therefore I am writing this as delta, but I cannot write for them. So we will use infinitesimal small d. So let us write the same equation that delta U is equal to dQ plus dW. So this is what we are taking this in infinitesimal small changes. So this is the expression for first law of thermodynamics. Now depending upon the various types of processes, let us see the first law of thermodynamics for various processes. So let us start for the first one, that is isothermal process. What is isothermal process, student? Where the temperature remains constant throughout the process, and in such processes internal energy means delta U remains constant. When I say delta U is constant, then in this equation if I put here 0, what I will get? I will be using this equation for all the type of processes. So what I will get is 0 is equal to dQ plus dW. Right? Or I can get W is equal to minus Q. What it means, student? What is the meaning of minus Q? Means heat is released when the work is done. So let us understand the meaning of this. So to understand the meaning for this expression, when W is positive, means what type of work it is? It is the work of compression. So when it is work of compression means what, student? Here if I say the work is because of compression, means the surrounding is doing the work on the system. So for that compression work, heat is released. I can write the same expression as minus W is equal to Q. Means the heat is absorbed for carrying out the work due to expansion. Means the work will be done by the system on the surrounding. So here the meaning of this expression is that. So for this if I say, so here heat is released, or released heat is due to compression of the gas. And here heat absorbed is due to expansion of the gas. Right, students? When I say expansion, who is doing the work? When I say expansion, the work is done by the system on the surrounding. So this is about the isothermal process. Let us come to the second one, and that is adiabatic process. What is the adiabatic process? Adiabatic process is one where heat is neither allowed to enter or leave the system at any stage of the reaction. So what remains constant, student? Q remains constant. So if I try to put Q is equal to 0 in this equation, then what I will get here? So I am writing the equation again, is equal to Q plus W. I am just written the equation in this way. So I can say that if Q is 0, then minus delta U is equal to W. If Q is 0, then minus delta U is equal to W. Now what is the meaning of this W? That increase in the internal energy or decrease in the internal energy. How I have to show this? So this will be, positive. So here if I write delta U is equal to W, how I can write the other way? Minus delta U is equal to minus W. So those are the two ways I can give the expression. So here when I say this is positive, this is increase in internal energy is utilized for work of compression. And here if I say there is a decrease in internal energy is because of work due to expansion. Right, student? So this is what is happening in adiabatic process. So increase in internal energy of the system is the work done on it. If the work is done by the system on the surrounding at the expense of internal energy, the internal energy in this adiabatic process will decrease. So this is about the adiabatic process. Let us come to the third type of the process, and that is isochoric process. What is isochoric process, student? Isochoric process is where the volume of the system remains constant Now very interesting that the first law of thermodynamics, there is no delta V there, but we can substitute there the delta V value, and for that I will change this expression delta U is equal to Q minus P delta V, because we take the work due to expansion. So this is how I will write. If delta V is 0, then this full term will become 0 and delta U is equal to Q. Now as this isochoric is at constant volume, so we mention V here below it. So what is QV is the change in internal energy. So students, this is very, very important to note that heat at constant volume is internal energy. This is very important statement and you must know this, because we have to see the relation between heat at constant pressure and heat at constant volume. So what is heat at constant volume is internal energy change. Now this expression shows that internal energy of the system is due to the heat transfer which takes place at constant volume. Right? So this is what we got the expression. So heat at constant volume is utilized only to increase the internal energy, and therefore heat at constant volume is internal energy. Let us go for the next process, and that is isobaric process. What is isobaric process? Chemical reactions, they are carried out if in the open system or open containers under the constant atmospheric pressure, then we call them as isobaric process, where delta P is equal to 0. Now let us write this equation again. So delta U is equal to Q plus W. Now I will again change this equation, is equal to Q minus P delta V. If you see here, this is delta P is equal to 0. We don't have delta P in the expression, and therefore the expression remains as it is. Only change what I will make is, I will write here P. So what is this P is equal to? So for this I will just rearrange the equation and let's see what we get. So students, what we get is QP is equal to delta U plus P delta V. So this is an expression what again you have to remember. So this is what heat at constant pressure is delta U plus P delta V. What we call it as enthalpy, and that we'll be seeing in the coming videos. So heat at constant pressure is total of internal energy and energy required to carry out PV type of work. And this particular term delta H plus P delta V, we represent this by delta H. There, that is enthalpy change. What is that? And how it is related to QP, that we in QV, we will see that in coming videos. So this is heat at constant pressure is enthalpy change. So this is second thing what you have to note down. Heat at constant volume is internal energy and heat at constant pressure is enthalpy change, which is denoted by delta H. So this is all about first law of thermodynamics, its mathematical expression and its application to various types of processes. I hope you like this video, so please like my video and subscribe my channel to get more videos like this. Thank you, students.